Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 8 scary videos caught on camera underground. So we all know there's some scary stuff above ground we can see all day, but the scariest things in the world are always underground for some reason. After all, the underground is where dark and scary things can go to hide out away from humans. But here are some scary things that were actually caught on camera that'll creep anyone out. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming up first, we have English sewer creatures. Now, these two clips were actually captured in the UK in the same tunnel system. This tape was captured by a camera mounted onto a service robot that was cleaning the sewers. It happened underneath a street named Rayner Street in northern England. So the service robot's going down this tunnel in the black and white tape. But then in the blink of an eye, some kind of creature runs right out in front of the camera. I'm not sure what this is, it looks like some kind of tiny dinosaur creature. But maybe you thought it's just a massive rat or something which isn't something to be scared of. Well, think again, because later they went back down into the tunnels with a new in-color camera. The service robot was going around the tunnels when suddenly they see something even more scary than before. This time there's a massive creature with glowing eyes. I don't think it's the same creature as before, as it's way bigger than that one. Who knows, maybe there's all kinds of living creatures down in these tunnels. The creature seems to be checking out the service robot as it's probably confused as to what it is. But I could ask you the same question, Mr. Creature, what are you? I have no idea what these two creatures are, but I really want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Is it just something like a mutantly large rat, or is it something more scary like aliens or a monster we've never ever seen before? Next up is Japanese tunnels ghost. During WW2, Japan built many tunnels underground. This was for things like evacuating and also transporting resources from one place to another. These tunnels were built deep using the most advanced Japanese engineering of the time. The deepest depth these tunnels go down to is around 2,000 feet. However, because of what's happened in the tunnels, they're actually radioactive, meaning you can't go down there. Now, when I say you can't, I mean people like you and I, but if you're a nuclear Japanese engineer, then you can. Well, one day a group of Japanese nuclear engineers actually did go down into this tunnel system. They were simply testing the radiation levels and they were going to be in and out, as it's quite dangerous to be down there for too long. But it turns out they caught something a lot more interesting than a radiation level. They didn't realize this at the time, but in the footage there appears to be the ghost of a Japanese soldier. This very eerie and transparent figure appears to be wearing what the Japanese troops wore in WW2. It's kind of tricky to make this out in the regular footage, so here's a zoomed in, slowed down version. As you can see, it really does seem like there may be a ghost inside this Japanese tunnel. Next up is alligators in the sewers. We all know the oldest urban legend of all time is that there's alligators in the sewers of New York. There was even an entire book written all about it. But if you go down to Florida, it seems this urban legend becomes a reality. This man named Lou was hearing underground sounds from his house. So he decided to check it out by looking down into his sewers. Now, if you thought the movie It was scary where the It clown's down in the sewers, then check this out. As you can see, Lou was stunned to see an alligator with its beady, bright eyes staring right back at him. This happened all the way back in December of 2016, but many people report seeing alligators in the sewers. All of the officials in Florida and other places say there are no alligators in the sewers, but this guy literally caught it on tape. I'd really hate to see one of these crawling up through my toilet bowl and coming into my house. To make things even more scary, there seems to be a green ball that's fallen down into the sewers. I hope a kid didn't drop his ball down there, go to get it, and then was eaten by this alligator. Now that really would be the It movie coming to life. Coming up next is Quebec Tunnel Monster. This one takes place in Quebec, Canada. This guy named Timothy said he was hearing some strange sounds from his local storm drain. His friends didn't believe him, so he said, "I'll prove it to you," and he invited his friends to go down into the drain with him. As you can see, they all venture down into the sewer system and it all seems pretty normal at first. But then they hear something, a very, very low tapping noise on the ground. Then all of a sudden from around the corner comes some kind of shadowy creature. I have no idea what this could be, but it sure did move fast. If I slow it down and really analyze it, it does appear to have 2 arms and 2 legs, like a humanoid figure. But this is way too small and stocky to be a human. Maybe this is a troll or gremlin or something else living in this Canadian storm drain. If you guys live in Quebec and know this storm drain, go down and try and see what this thing is. Just don't blame me if you get eaten by a real life goblin. Next up is underground alien creature. So we've already seen something straight out of the It movie. Well, this bizarre underground creature is right out of Stranger Things. We all know the massive scary Demogorgon creature in Stranger Things. It's an underground creature that absorbs the world and gets bigger and bigger and more powerful. Well, in North Carolina, USA, there may well be the same thing in real life. In Raleigh, North Carolina, there was a clogged pipe one day, so some sanitation workers went to try and unclog the pipe. They sent a service vehicle with a camera down there so they could see what was going on. They thought it would be a simple clog, but instead they found something alive. As you can see, this thing looks like some kind of alive, pulsating creature. This really does look straight out of Stranger Things. It was growing all over the sewer walls, and who knows how big this thing really is. The camera then went further down into the sewer and they found more of these blobs. The Raleigh Public Utilities Department have no idea what these things are. I looked for a while and it didn't seem like anyone knew what these things were online. However, a marine biologist named Timothy Woods does have one idea. He says these alive blobs are tubifex worms. For some reason, thousands of these worms had clumped together in some kind of sack. And the reason why it looks like it's pulsing is because when one worm moves in a worm pack, then they all do. Personally, I didn't know about tubifex worms, but now that I do, they are one of my biggest fears. Next up is Swiss sewer screams. So we've seen a lot of scary stuff on this list already, but this one is more something to hear, but trust me, it's equally as terrifying. One night in Switzerland, a guy named Matthew was walking down the street. There was no one and nothing around. All he heard was a very scary scream coming from a sewer. However, this sounds like a sound effect from a scary movie, not the scream of a human. This was captured in 2013 and it's just from a seemingly normal manhole drain. However, this high-pitched noise sounds like something from a different planet. Could this be some kind of scary creature underneath the sewer system? Or is there some kind of explanation for it? For example, pipes squeaking and moving. Matthew then backed up and did not open up the manhole, and I don't blame him. Guys, if you hear a creepy sound coming from the sewers one day, don't investigate. But if you do, make sure you catch it on film and send it to me. Now, some say the actual explanation for this clip is a flow regulator system working underground. That may be the case, but you never know. It could be something much more scary. Next up is Oregon Tunnel Monster. One guy from Oregon, USA said he was hearing some weird sounds coming from his local sewer, so he grabbed his camera and decided to tape down in the sewers. You can hear him on tape saying, "I'm in the tunnel and I can hear sounds."
I'm up on the tunnel right now. I'm hearing the noises inside the tunnel, and
then you hear a bizarre noise that doesn't sound like any creature we know.
I don't want to hurt you.
all you can really make out is the flashlight reflection coming off the water in this sewer. The screaming then gets too intense for the guy and he runs out of the sewer system, and I don't blame him. This clip is incredibly creepy, but let me know your thoughts on what this could have been down below. And finally on the list of scary underground videos, we have Central Park Fountain Screeching. This is another clip where the creepy part is the audio. In 2015, a guy named Enrique was walking in Central Park, New York. We all know Central Park, it's very picturesque and a nice place, right? Well, very near to the Bethesda Fountain, there's a very scary sewer system I encourage you guys to check out. If you guys live near this drain, then check it out one night. Anyway, Enrique can hear noises coming from the sewer, so he begins recording it. In the background, you can hear runners running by, ignoring the sounds. But listen closely and you can hear some very scary screeching noises coming from underground. It kind of sounds like a pig squealing, but I doubt there's any pigs living in the sewers of New York. Could this be the alligators of the New York sewers everyone always talks about, or is it something else? Personally, I have no idea, but I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the scariest underground video on this list. I think it's the English sewer creatures. I think it's the English sewer creatures. If you guys want some more cool videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that coming up on screen in a second. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.